I am who I am because I value my past. The memories of yesterday can never be changed, but they give me a reason to live again. There is a reason I am here today, but there is no reason you lost your lives. You were called abusive names, deprived of rights to be humans, slayed because of who you were born. I am lighting a candle as the sign of resilience. I'm paying a tribute. You left a legacy, and I'm a fruit from the love you sowed. Let's say never again to genocide. There should be no war. There should be no genocide. Anyway, let's say never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. I was young, I still needed you, but you were taken away from me too soon. If I had one wish, it would be seeing you again. Today we're strong men and women, even though you are not here to see. We're carrying on to make you feel proud out there, watching down on us. I am lighting a candle as the sign of resilience. I'm paying a tribute. You left a legacy, and I'm a fruit from the love you sowed. Let's say never again to genocide. There should be no war. There should be no genocide. Anyway, let's say never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. I am a witness that if you and I come together as one, we can make sure genocide never happens again. History should be told and passed on to further generations. Let's all stand up and all sing out, never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. There should be no war. There should be no genocide. Anyway, let's say never again, never again. To genocide. Never again, never again, never again. We brought you flowers. 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 We brought you flowers.
Get ready for an evolution in broadcasting. ABC Networks 24 proudly presents Mission 2025, a groundbreaking launch that will change the way you experience television.
Beginning this Saturday, April 19, 2025, ABC Networks 24 ushers in a new era with 24-hour live programming that will keep you informed and inspired around the clock. Witness the power of cutting-edge technology as ABC Amba TV elevates its broadcast standards to the pinnacle of modern-day viewing.
All your favorite shows are back and better than ever, including Undaunted ABC Amba News and military briefings. Plus, explore the rich tapestry of Ambazonia with our Amba history and engage in critical discussions in ethics for an emerging nation. Experience the redefined classics that you love alongside thrilling new shows set to captivate Ambazonians across the globe.
But that's not all. Mission 2025 introduces brand new programming like Global Business News Today, offering in-depth analysis of markets, industrialization, and global trade. Dive into the heartbeat of Ambazonia with county roots, exploring the sociology and governance from rural to urban landscapes.
Wake up to Ambazonia Arise, your premium morning show delivering news, social media buzz, and newspaper insights to start your day informed and connected.
Join us for Mission 2025, where innovation meets tradition and the future of television in Ambazonia begins, only on ABC Networks 24.
Stay tuned this Saturday as we embark on this thrilling new journey. Don't miss out.
Here comes the dawn of Mission 2025, your window to the world. Starting this Saturday, be a part of it. Subscribe and donate now.
So this redefinition of a vision that was birthed 6 years ago started 3 months ago. That's Mission 2025. Good evening, fellow Ambazonians, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to this very important broadcast. And today is one of those days when we come to reiterate the importance of the media warfare that Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation, ABC Networks 24, is fronting in this existential battle that we find ourselves. It's important that from time to time we're going to come together to remind you of your duty and your participation in this great initiative. Firstly, I want to thank every single stakeholder, every patron, every club member, every single Ambazonian that believes in us, believes in this vision, believes that they have the right people with the media weapons to keep fighting the war. So much is at stake. We are midway, or I would say more than midway of this battle. And what we're doing is not done by any media house in the two Cameroons put together. And that is part of my challenge to you. You could investigate what I'm saying for yourself. No media house in the Cameroons is doing what we're doing, because what we're doing is what I call the untold stories of Ambazonia. This is a story that Charles de Gaulle had planned, probably with some conspirators or those who conspired from Beti to make sure that is a story that will be disappeared. One way to keep a people enslaved forever is by ensuring that their stories are not told. And it was strategically planned that way, that the story of Ambazonia will not be told. But ABC Amba TV said no. It's time to tell our own story. Our strategy might be unique. There are those who believe that we have to come and keep shouting like others are shouting. But we think that to tell our story to the world, we have to tell the people of the world that we're interested in their stories. When you start talking about people about them, then they're interested to listen to you. That is the core element of Mission 2025. And tonight we have a spectacle for you. We'll try to make it as brief as possible because for some technical reasons, we're starting pretty late and we deeply apologize. I'll be transitioning into the newsroom. Ask those of you who are already connected in the Zoom meetings and those who are watching on all our social media platforms, especially those who are at the home front, witnessing the flies of the bullets every day. Congratulations to you for standing the ground and staying with us and tuning in. Just sit back and watch for a few minutes as we tell a portion of this story of Mission 2025. Stay tuned.
Good evening and welcome to ABC Amba TV. I am Star Smart and you're watching the maiden edition of a bold new journey we call County Roots, a program dedicated to exploring the very foundation of Ambazonia's identity. Well, over the weeks and months to come, County Roots will take viewers on an in-depth journey through the zones, counties, and local government areas that form the backbone of this land called Ambazonia. The purpose is simple, yet deeply significant: to trace the historical, cultural, and geographical roots of Ambazonia, to understand its structure, not as defined by colonial administration, but by the real framework of the people, their stories, their communities, their heritage. Far beyond politics, conflicts, or headlines lies a living geography, one shaped by ancestral lines, by village bonds, and by generational memory. For too long, the map of this land has been redrawn to suit the interest of others, from being named as regions to having its people mislabeled and misrepresented. Ambazonia's core structure has often been overlooked. But here on County Roots, we peel back those layers. We go beyond imposed borders to highlight the authenticity and authentic administration as understood by Ambazonians itself. Now, from the 3 core zones to each county, each local government area, and every village, valley, mountains, and river that anchors the people to the land. In today's series, we'll spotlight the cultural wealth, resilient histories, and strategic significance of every part of Ambazonia, from the rainforest of the Atlantic zone to the savanna, highlands, and the deep into the Midlands zone. Now, each episode will serve not just as documentation, but as a form of preservation for future generations to know the truth and for the present to remember the foundation. Whether you are from Ambazonia, studying it, reporting on it, or simply seeking to understand it, this program is certainly for you. This is a journey into the deep identity of a people. This is County Roots, and it all begins right now.
Yeah, Yeah, oh yeah.
You're welcome back. Well, on the maiden edition of County Roots, we'll take a look at the administrative structure of Ambazonia. In Ambazonia, we have 3 zones, and we'll start with the Atlantic zone that has the Faco County with local government areas like Victoria, Biya, Chico, Muyuka. We have Meme County with local government areas such as Kumba, Konye, Mbonge, Ndian County with Mundemba local government areas, Ekondo Titi, Bamuso, Kombo Abedimo, Isangele, Idabato, Kombo Etindi local government areas. And Kopema Nguba County, also known as KMC, with counties that include Bangen, Tombel, Nguti. We'll get into the historicity and cultural strength of the zones, and we'll start with the Atlantic zone, with which counties we just mentioned, the historical legacy. Well, in the Atlantic coast, counties like Faco and Indian have long old historic significance, as it was an early site of colonial encounters, the Bimbia, Rio del Rey, and the German protection period. Now, when it comes to strategic wealth in the Atlantic zone, we see Indian's oil deposits and mangrove ecosystems are crucial for economic resilience and logistical autonomy. For its cultural richness, the Bakweri of Faco, River Mount Faco, and Kupe Manenguba protects twin volcanic lakes and sacred forests. Mazda dances and other cultural activities echo this zone's vibrancy. Well, to celebrate the Atlantic zone's culture, we'll go on a quick break with this song, and after that will be the flash news. So stay tuned with County Roots. This is not a structure.
Moja, oh! His Royal Highness Chief Robert Esuka Endeli, Chief Esuka Matthias, Ejo Tute Oka. Molaste Nyoki na iya Juan Eusi, Omenge. Si watu kumane me hoi, aduja, Iya mojoko matute kwe Omenge. Mola samangua, kwe Omenge alo. Professor Nganje. Oa, Dr. Matute. Dr. Mokaki na Dr. Ose, Ejo Bunge. Mola Gerard Looms, Mola Jacob Monono. Dr. David Makongo, Idomelele Ruelele, Idomelele Ruelele, Love na Belimo, Wani Manapide, Idomelele Ruelele, Iloni Kukadie, Yo Mandene Mokinjo, Yo Mwenge.
Wow, a very beautiful dance right there. And it is the Mbo traditional dance. And fun fact is you have the Mbo, Bakreri, Bakosi, Balondo. All of them have similar ways they represent themselves in their traditional music. But that right there was the Mbo traditional dance for the Atlantic zone. And before we leave, we'll take a quick look at the strategic wealth in the Atlantic zone, where we see India's oil deposit and mangrove ecosystem, which are crucial for economic resilience. But with that, we'll head into the flash news and we'll be right back with the Midland zone on County Roots.
Moja moja His Royal Highness Chief Robert Esuka Endeli, Chief Esuka Matthias, Ejo Tute Oka. Molaste nyoki na iya Juan Eusi. Omenge. Si watu kumane me hoi. Aduja Iya mojoko matute kwe omenge. Mola samambua kwe omenge alo. Professor Nganje. Oa. Dr. Matute. Dr. Mokaki na Dr. Ose Ejo Bunge. Mola Gerard Luma. Mola Jacob Bonono. Dr. David Makongo. Idomelele Dumelele. Idomelele Dumelele. Lowe na belimo. Wani manapide. Idomelele Dumelele. Ironi Kukaniye. Yo mandene Mokinjo. Yo mwenge. Mola Brandon Mua Koto. Wile Mokoko yo mwenge. Idomelele Dumelele. Lowe na belimo. Wani manapide. Idomelele Dumelele. Lowe atunabide. Ola kinge monono. Lobati Mosonge na iya Njema Mosonge in California. Dr. Esunge Manase Mokwa Moja, the only elephant sitting on top of a tree. Say what you want to be? Here, Juliet Ngolo, Tingo Notadue. Here, Molonga Tie. Motimbe Rajadue. Molonga Mongo. Imongo Teoka Yadue. Monyangina Wayale. Lowe na Belimu. Ironi Kukanie. Mola Alfred Kange, Mola Cosmos Kange. Jaja King and Malakai the second. Ola Julius Name. Ole Mani. Eko Yomwenga. Aluga. Nali Yomongaka. Roko Roko Moa na watu.
At what point does retaliation become a declaration of war? The latest exchange of missile strikes between Iran and Israel marks a historic escalation, dragging both nations and potentially their allies closer to a direct and devastating conflict that could reshape the geopolitical map of the Middle East. Well, as we delve into the details, these and many more will be explored in today's Flash News. Good evening and welcome. I am Tabitha Akro. Let's begin. The conflict between Iran and Israel intensified early Saturday with a dramatic exchange of missile strikes following Israel's largest ever air offensive targeting Iranian nuclear facilities. The strikes have sparked fears of a wider regional war. Now, could this be the most dangerous flashpoint in the Middle East since the Gulf War? We see that dozens of Iranian missiles rained down on Israel, triggering air raid sirens across major cities, including Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. In response, Israeli air defense intercepted many of the projectiles, lighting up the sky in a tense overnight confrontation. What happens when diplomacy fails and military deterrence becomes the only language? 2 civilians, a man and a woman, were killed and dozens injured when a missile landed near residential areas in Rishon LeZion, just outside Tel Aviv. We see the rescue teams continue to search the rumble of collapsed buildings. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant declared Iran had crossed a red line by directly targeting civilians and warned that Tehran would pay a heavy price. Well, Benjamin Netanyahu, in giving a felicitation to President Donald Trump, he has made a statement. Let's listen.
And we appreciate what you're doing now, helping protect Israeli lives against the criminal regime in Iran. I want to wish also a 250th happy birthday to the American Army. Thank you on behalf of free peoples everywhere. Today, Israel is defending freedom in the Middle East and beyond. We're doing so against a tyrannical and radical Iranian regime that wants to build atomic bombs to destroy us and wants to build ballistic missiles, including intercontinental ballistic missile, to be able to threaten anyone and everywhere in the world. By defending ourselves, we're also defending others. We're defending our Arab neighbors, our Arab friends in peace. We're defending Europe. We're helping defend also the United States, which helps us all the time in our defense.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's reactions right there. Meanwhile, we see that a missile launched by Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi militia struck the Israeli-occupied West Bank, killing 5 Palestinians, including 3 children, according to the Palestinian Red Crescent. Now, the tragic irony is a regional proxy strike kills those already living under occupation. Now, to what extent are civilians becoming the frontline casualties of proxy warfare? In Iran, explosions were reported across Tehran, with local media confirming that 2 projectiles hit Mehrabad Airport, an area known for housing military aircraft near sensitive government sites. Now, Iran's UN envoy Amir Saeed Iravani claimed that 78 people, many of them civilians and senior military officers, were killed in the Israeli strikes, with over 320 wounded. Now, Fars News Agency also said Iran responded with multiple waves of airstrikes throughout Friday and into Saturday, targeting key locations in Israel, including Tel Aviv. And witnesses reported hearing explosions as far as Jerusalem. Now, these Iranian counter-strikes followed Israel's initial attacks on Friday morning, which reportedly targeted high-level commanders, nuclear scientists, and facilities, including the Natanz nuclear sites. Meanwhile, Iran has long denied that its uranium enrichment is aimed at building weapons. Also, the United States military confirmed its involvement in intercepting Iranian missiles headed toward Israel. Israel said fewer than 100 missiles were fired on Friday, most of which were intercepted or fell short of their targets. Now, what role does the United States military support play in escalating or containing this conflict? A thoughtful one. Iranian state media said Israel's bombing of Natanz and the killing of key commanders prompted the unprecedented response from Iran. The Natanz enrichment plant's above-ground pilot facility was destroyed, according to IAEA Chief Rafael Grossi, who confirmed ongoing assessment of damages at other sites, including Fordow and Isfahan. Now, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei accused Israel of initiating war, while a senior Iranian official declared that nowhere in Israel is safe, vowing painful retaliation. Iran also accused the United States of complicity, warning that Washington could bear full responsibility for the consequences of Israel's actions. Meanwhile, Israeli United Nations envoy Danny Danon said intelligence indicated Iran was days away from producing enough fissile material for multiple nuclear bombs, calling Israel's actions an act of national preservation. Take a look.
You know, for years we hear the threats coming from Iran to destroy Israel, to destroy the US, but we gather the intelligence that they're actually moving forward. Basically, there are a few ideas that we realize that are going to implement them. One that we all talk about is the nuclear capabilities. They already have it. It's a matter of days. Secondly, the ballistic missiles. We don't speak a lot about it, but they had a mass production of ballistic missiles. They wanted to be at the same level of the US and Russia in terms of the number of ballistic missiles, to produce every month hundreds of missiles and to threaten Israel with a mega power of ballistic missiles. And third, the proxies. They were going to initiate another attack like October 7th.
An interview right there with Fox News. Fox News, what then does Israel's claim for primitive self-defense justify a strike on another sovereign nation? While Iran insists its nuclear program is solely for peaceful purposes, the United Nations nuclear watchdog recently found Iran in breach of its obligations under the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Also, United States President Donald Trump commented that it was not too late for Iran to avert further strikes by returning to negotiations. However, Tehran has signaled that talks scheduled for Sunday in Oman may be cancelled, calling dialogue with the United States meaningless in light of the Israeli attacks. However, Iran's foreign ministry stated you cannot claim to negotiate while enabling the Zionist regime to bomb our territory. However, as missiles continue to crisscross the skies of the Middle East, the stakes couldn't be higher. Beyond the immediate devastations lies the haunting question: how close is the region to the point of no return? I mean, this is a war between Iran and Israel. Well, the coming days will justify that. With this, we head on to the county route with Star Smart.
Moja moja oh! His Royal Highness Chief Robert Esuka Endeli, Chief Esuka Matthias, Ejo Tute Oka. Molaste nyoki na iya juan eusi. Omenge. Si watu kumane mehoy.
Everything you vecho. Matoka sembeni. Money king. Matoka sembeni. Money king. Matoka sembeni. Money king. Matoka sembeni. Money everything you've hecho, everything you've hecho, everything you've hecho, everything you've hecho, morning, Vima toka sembeni, Achemenere gra, Vima toka sembeni, Matoka sembeni, Vima toka sembeni, Matoka sembeni, Ngore manyang, Mira makori nyong, the morning kimae, Mami shoshu, Ngore manyang, the morning kimae, Ngore manyang, Tambe Bridget, Ngore what, the morning kimae, the actress, Ngore manyang, the morning kimae, Jesse Ellen, follow me this. Mayo wakanga chao, contre pikin. Everything you've hecho, everything you've hecho, Matoka sembeni, Matoka sembeni, Matoka sembeni, Matoka sembeni, everything you've hecho, everything you've hecho, everything you've hecho, everything you've hecho, morning Vima toka sembeni, Achemenere gra, Vima toka sembeni, Matoka sembeni, Vima toka sembeni, Matoka sembeni, Ngore manyang, Mira makori nyong, the morning kimae, Mami shoshu, Ngore manyang, the morning kimae, Ngore manyang, Tambe Bridget, Ngore what, the morning kimae, the actress, Ngore manyang, the morning kimae, Jesse Ellen, follow me this. Mayo wakanga chao, contre pikin. Everything you've hecho, everything you've hecho, morning Vima toka sembeni, Achemenere gra, Vima toka sembeni, Matoka sembeni, Vima toka sembeni, Matoka sembeni, Ngore manyang, Mira makori nyong, the morning kimae, Mishosho, Ngore manyang, the morning kimae, Ngore manyang, Tambe Bridget, Ngore what, the morning kimae, the actress, Ngore manyang, the morning kimae, Jesse Ellen, follow me this. Everything you've hecho, morning Vima toka sembeni, Achemenere gra, Vima toka sembeni, Matoka sembeni, Vima toka sembeni, Matoka sembeni, Ngore manyang, Mira makori nyong, the morning kimae, Mami shoshu, Ngore manyang, the morning kimae, Ngore manyang, Tambe Bridget, Ngore what, the morning kimae, the actress, Ngore manyang, the morning kimae, Jesse Ellen, follow me this. Mayo wakanga chao, contre pikin.
And that was really a Bini on Monikem there with the Yanga dance. Well, the second zone we'll take a look at is the Midland Zone, which has its own counties as well as Manu County that hosts local government areas such as Mamfe, Akwaya, Ungunaya, Kembong, Njemaya, Ayumuyok, Tinto. Still under the Midland Zone, we have the Lebialem County with local government areas under it such as Alu, Menji, Wabane, as well as Mezam County with local government areas such as Bamenda, Tuba, Bafut, Bali, and Santa local government areas. We have Momo County with Mbengwi, Batibo, Nji, also known as Andek, Njikwa, Widikum, Menka local government areas. And going into their historicity as well as culture, the culture of the Midland Zone, the zone right in the heart of Ambazonia. could also be seen as the civic heart of Ambazonia, with Mezam's Bamenda and Momo's town, Batibo Mbengui, which are hubs of activism, independent media, and grassroots governance born out of the 90s democracy wave. Now, for its economic polls, we see Momo and Mezam support strong agrarian economies, while Manyu's hydrological sites like Lake Ejagam, Cross River, enhances ecological and cultural tourism. Now, for its ethnic spectrum, counties like Manyu host Meta, Bayang, and Mundani groups, and Lebialem is Bangwa rich, rooted in mountainous traditions, and its sacred Lilem forests are guardians of biodiversity. To get an insight of the Midland Zone's culture, we'll go on another quick break where we'll witness the Mbagalum, which is a common traditional dance that represents the Ngembas, made up of the people from Batu, Mankon, Bali, Bambui, Mankom Bachongwa, and more. And right after that, we'll head on to another new development here on ABC Amba TV. The introduction of business news. Do stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this break with the Mbagalum dance from Midland Zone.
Here is introduced on the Global Business Report. A sudden spike in oil prices has sent pressures through global markets today after reports confirmed an Israeli airstrikes on Iranian territory. This move has intensified fears of a broader conflict, threatening energy supply routes and sparkling volatility across commodities and equities as investors brace for potential geopolitical fallout. The business world is watching closely to gauge the impact on inflation, trade, and global economic stability. Now let's begin while we expand this in full detail. I am Uyi Okbala. Let's begin. Global oil prices soared on Friday following reports that Israel launched a military strike on Iran, a significant escalation in tensions between the two regional powers that has rattled financial markets and raised fears of a broader Middle East conflict. The price of Brent crude, the international benchmark, surged more than 10% in early trading, hitting its highest level since January before paring some of those gains later in the day. The sharp spike underscored investors' concern that military confrontation could disrupt oil supplies from one of the world's most important energy-producing nations. The move by Israel comes amid heightened hostilities in the nations, with analysts warning that any sustained conflict involving Iran could have major implications for global energy flows. Iran is a key member of OPEC and one of the world's top oil producers. Its strategic positions near the Strait of Hormuz, a vital shipping lane through which around 20% of the world's oil passes, add to the market sensitivity. Even the risk of disruption in the strait sends immediate shockwaves through energy markets. The price surge follows several months of relative stability in oil markets where prices had hovered in a modest range amid mixed signals about global demand and production levels. The sudden jump in oil prices threatens to reignite inflationary pressures worldwide. Higher crude prices typically translate into more expensive gasoline, increased transportation costs, and rising prices for goods and services that depend on fuel, including food. Economists say the price shock could complicate policy decisions for central banks, many of which were cautiously moving towards interest rates cut after years of aggressive hikes. If oil remains elevated, central banks may have to delay easing plans or even consider further tightening. This was said by an economist with a leading global investment bank. This could put additional strain on already fragile post-pandemic recoveries. The Israeli strike on Iran has also triggered fresh diplomatic concerns, with major powers including the United States, China, and Russia monitoring the situation closely. The US, a close ally of Israel and longtime adversary of Iran, may face increased pressure to respond or intervene to prevent a broader war. European nations, many of which rely on Middle Eastern energy, are also bracing for potential economic fallout and renewed instability in the nations. All traders and analysts remain on high alert, with many warning that prices could climb further if tensions escalate or if retaliatory attacks against oil infrastructure or critical shipping routes, OPEC, and other oil-producing nations may come under pressure to increase output in a bid to cool market, though capacity constraints limit how much can be done in the short term. But then strategic petroleum reserves may also be tapped if prices continues to surge. As the situation develops, markets will be watching closely for signs of either de-escalation or further military action, but of which could have swift and dramatic impact on the global energy landscape. But that's not all. In China has proposed granting duty-free access to its vast domestic markets for exports from all African countries. Well, this happened yesterday, June 13, 2025, in a landmark move set to reshape global trade dynamics and deepen economic ties with the African continent. The initiative, if agreed upon by both sides, was unveiled as foreign ministers from across Africa gathered in central China this week to review progress made since the 2024 Forum on China-Africa Cooperation (FOCAC) held last September. The high-level gathering, officially titled the Ministerial Meeting of Coordinators on the Implementation of FOCAC Follow-up Action, is taking place in Changsha, Henan Province, and focuses on translating FOCAC continent into tangible results. Will that be possible? Well, Chinese President Xi Jinping, in a congratulatory message to the ministers, called the proposed measure a key part of China's vision for shared development and a stronger economic partnership between the two regions. This initiative will not only provide greater market access for Africa's exports, especially from the least developed countries, but also inject new momentum into China-Africa economic relationship. President Xi said it reflects China's long-standing commitment to supporting Africa's development and promoting South-South cooperation. But then, if implemented, the duty-free trade scheme would eliminate tariffs on a broad range of African goods entering Chinese markets, which represents one of the largest consumer bases in the world. The proposal is expected to significantly benefit African producers, particularly in agriculture, manufacturing, and raw materials, by improving exports competitiveness and enabling greater integration into global value chain. On the other end, African ministers welcomed the announcement, describing it as a game changer for economic diversification and industrialization on the continent. This is a critical step towards correcting global trade imbalances and ensuring that Africa's development is driven by trade, not just aid. Well, this was said by Naledi Pandor, South Africa's Minister of International Relations and Cooperation. China has already emerged as Africa's largest trading partner, with a total bilateral trade reaching over $300 billion in 2024. However, African countries often face trade deficits and struggle to compete in international markets due to tariffs and non-tariff barriers. The proposed duty-free access could be a transformative policy in addressing these challenges. While the Changsha meeting also revealed the FOCAC commitments, including infrastructure development, green energy cooperation, digital innovation, youth capacity building programs. Well, ministers understood the importance of delivering on these promises in ways that aligns with the African Union's Agenda of 2063 and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And so, as this goes on, both Chinese and African officials, they have expressed optimism that the proposed trade facilitation and the measure would be finalized soon. And so the duty-free access proposal now enters a stage of bilateral consultations, technical assessment, and negotiations over product list timeliness and implementation mechanism. This is not about the trade. Noted by Fakei Mohammed, who is the chairperson of the African Union Commission. He said it's about new model of international partnership, one based on mutual respect, shared interest, and a commitment to inclusive development. The China-Africa Economic Partnership for Shared Development signals a potential new era of cooperation anchored not only in investment and infrastructure, but in fairer trade and stronger economic sovereignty for Africa. But before we go, let's see what's happening in Rwanda from the other African scene. Rwanda has officially withdrawn from the Economic Community of Central African States, the ECCAS, while ending 16 years of membership in the regional bloc. The decision announced by Rwandan governor and government on the 8th of June follows mounting political tensions within the ECAS and highlights the organization's ongoing struggles with regional cohesion and limited economic integration. Just for background studies, this was founded in 1983. ECAS aims to promote regional economic cooperation and integration amongst its 11 member states. However, analysts have long pointed to its limited effectiveness with intra-regional trade and joint development initiative lagging behind similar African blocs. Rwanda's raising questions about the bloc's unity and its ability to mediate regional disputes. But Rwanda, the withdrawal, may also signal a pivot towards strengthening ties with alternative regional platforms, such as the East African Community EC, in which it remains an active member. Well, this is the point where we'll just take a pause from the Global Business Report because we need to know so much about our roots. So this is me handing over to Stir Smart to take you back to your roots.
zanzi pando man pitang vilo atra lo vino kumen apa kumen kondelo mama zang ba vino kumen yes wa benza na magampo I'm a lot on the juma wa wa benza na magampo yes wa benza na magampo ano o tu pumpkin to wa mission we manu to pumpkin imanu le
You're welcome back, and thank you, Onyi, for that wonderful report. Well, back to the county routes and to the third and last zone in Ambazonia, the Savannah zone, which has the Biya County with local government areas under it, such as the Jakiri, Oku, Noni, Nkum, Kumbo, Veng, which is also Mbiame local government areas, as well as the Donga Matun County with Ako, Misaje, Undu, Nkambe, Unwa local government areas under the DMC. In Menchum County, we have the Wum, Fungom, which is also Zoa, Menchum Valley, Benakuma, Furu, Awa local government areas, and Boya County with Muwam, Yang, Juafef, Kimbi local government areas. We also have the Ngoketunja County still under the Savannah zone, which has local government areas that include Ndop, Bali Kumbat, Babesi. The historic and cultural attractions of the Savannah zone, the highland heart of the Ambazonian nation, we see where ancestral memories run through every hill and valley. Savannah zone will begin with its ancestral bastion, where Bui's Oku Forest and Boyo's traditional councils keep warrior customs alive. Now, when it comes to the highland resistance and resilience in the Savannah zone, counties like Menchum and Dongamatun County, nestled in rugged terrain, were bases for community defense and ancestral rights, evidence of enduring faith in self-rule. In the Savannah zone, something about cultural guardians can be seen from ritual drum beats to spiritual forest shrines. It sustains the moral and cultural architecture of Ambazonia. Now, speaking of ritual drum beats, we cannot leave the Savannah zone without taking a glimpse of the popular Juju or masquerade dance from Njinicom local government area in Boyle County, something that represents a cross-section of how the people of the Savannah zone represent themselves in sacred traditional expressions. Even in the Midlands, there is some similarity where this Juju dance is both in the Savannah zone and in the Midland zones, but then the Manu people have as Juju dance what is called Evasin Jom, and the Momo of the lands will have the Nchibi as well. Well, let's get right into that. The Juju masquerade dance. Its finest. Well, we see the radiance of Ambazonia. Ambazonia's beauty lies not only in its landscapes, coastal mangroves, volcanic lakes, forested highlands, but in a people-centered structure. Zones to counties, to local government areas, to villages, towns, and cities. Each tier carrying ancient legacies into a nation-building future. Well, this framework is more than governance. It is the architecture of a self-determined nation, where culture, history, and strategy drives unity, resistance, and renewal. Well, there you have it. The roots run deep, branches wide, and the spirit unshakable. As we bring this maiden edition of County Roots to a close, we're going to remind you that one thing has to be said to be unmistakably clear. Ambazonia is a sovereign nation fighting for its freedom, and it is not merely a name or place on a map. It is deeply woven cultural and historical fabric, where every zone, every county, and every local government area holds meaning. From the coastal strength of the Atlantic zone to the civic spine of the Midland zone and the ancestral heights of the savannah. The land of Ambazonia tells a story that cannot be silenced or redefined by external hands. What we've uncovered today is just the beginning. In the weeks to come, County Roots will continue this journey, diving deeper into the past, walking through the present, and asking questions about what the future holds. I am Star Smart, and this has been County Roots. Thank you for watching. Coming up next will be the rest of the Undaunted News.
You're welcome back to Studio One. I want to believe that you have all been enjoying what's happening there. We're going to have to move further. That's just snippets of what we have in store for you, and we're just doing projection on some of the things that County Roots will be doing. I want to congratulate Star Smart there, Onye, and Tabitha for what they are doing. We'll go back to them in a few minutes because I have some interviews to give to Commander Evis on some reports that are happening on the ground. I think just 2 reports or so. It's not going to take us long. Just about 2 reports. And when we're back, let me get to hear from Barrister Fru. I think he's connected. While I'm trying to connect Barrister Mbesia. Barrister Fru, you and Evis, you're there. You've watched the spectacle there and how our cultures being expressed so beautiful, the way we enjoy them. You know, we grew up being told that we were the sauvage, the primitive ones, and that our languages were not good enough to do good music, and that our cultures were inferior, until we went into the Bulu land and realized that it was a hop of the height of primitivity in that sub-African region. So just make a very brief comment there. We have just about 2 minutes to give back the mic so that they can complete the report on the home front for you and Commander Evis to respond. Please talk to us, please. Barrister Fu.
Thank you very much. It's a God-given gift to us, this television, this ABC, because it has actually captured our culture. You will see our culture from the Atlantic zone right up to the Savannah zone, and it's very enlightening. Anybody who thinks that Ambazonia is not a country, I think he should have his head examined, because we have everything that it takes. We are projecting our people. We are projecting our culture. We are projecting who we are, and this is what we are. Thank you very much, buddy.
That's amazing. I want to hope that Studio 2 is ready, because I'm handing the mic to you so that you can get to conclude whatever you're doing. If you're ready, I'd like to see your screen is showing me that you're not ready. But I'm bringing Studio 2 back so that I can conclude and get to interview you people right now. Right after that, we'll have to conclude this event.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you for always joining us on the show tonight. Tonight on the show, we got this report from the home front, bringing you recent happenings. The inauguration of Bamenda gas plant is a month now, and residents are expressing disappointment and frustration. The promise of affordable cooking gas, touted as a major benefit of the new plants, remains unfulfilled. Now, at the time of the plant's completion, officials assured the population that a 12.5 kg bottle of domestic gas would cost a mere 6,500 francs CFA. However, the reality on the ground is starkly different. As of now, the same bottle of gas is selling for a whopping 85,000 francs CFA, a staggering 1,200% increase from the promised price. Now, this significant disparity has left many households struggling to afford basic necessities. The inflated price has sparked outrage among residents who feel they were misled by the promises made during the inauguration. The Bamenda gas plant was expected to bring relief to the local population by providing a stable and affordable source of cooking gas, as the case in La République du Cameroon towns. Instead, it seems the plant's benefits have yet to trickle down to the people. Residents are now demanding answers and actions from the colonial authorities to address this pressing issue. Now, meanwhile, the skyrocketing cost of cooking gas has severely implicated many households in Bamenda. Many families are forced to choose between expensive gas and other essential expenses, further exacerbating the economic strain on already vulnerable populations. Now, this situation brings a call. The colonial authorities must take immediate action to address the discrepancy between the promised and actual prices of cooking gas. We see that transparency and accountability are essential in also ensuring that the benefits of the Bamenda gas plant are shared equitably among the population. The people of Bamenda deserve affordable and reliable access to cooking gas, And it is the responsibility of the colonial authorities to deliver to the promise. Again, with me tonight in the studio is our in-house analyst, the legal practitioners, Barrister John Fro and Barrister Tim Imbesia. And also bringing his defense prowess to the report tonight is Commander Elvis. Good evening, sirs. Good to have you once again. Well, let's begin with addressing the current issues of La Republic of Cameroon failing to keep to promises after the inauguration of the gas plant in Bamenda. Barrister Fro, here's a promise made to ensure availability of domestic gas. However, to meet their frustration and disappointment, the promises wasn't just failed. The price skyrocketed to about 1,200% France CFA. Now, Barrister Fro, let's get your reaction. What do you think about this?
I don't know why our people believe that story. Our people believe that story. That La République du Cameroon, our enemy, was coming to build a filling gas station for us to buy gas a little cheaper. Cheaper means 6,500 francs. Who believed that story? All what La République has done on our territory is to exploit us. They want to exploit us as quickly as it is possible. But I mean, do they have to come and fill their gas in Bamenda? Our people should learn that we have cut off from La République du Cameroon, and La République du Cameroon can treat us any way they want if we allow them. Do we need to buy cooking gas from La République du Cameroon? Cooking gas is a luxury during this wartime. We can cook with firewood, while waiting for our country. We are at war, for heaven's sake. You will be believing that La République du Cameroon will come and sell you gas cheaper because they are going to fill it in your territory? Are they filling the gas now in Bamenda? And how much are they selling? Did you say 8,000 or 85,000? I don't know. Did you say 8,000 or 85,000 per bottle? It beats my imagination. I don't know. La République du Cameroon should get out of the southern Cameroons and leave us alone. If we really want gas, we'll get gas from Nigeria. The gas they are trying to fill in our territory is obtained in the southern Cameroons. We have a lot of gas in Dian and Victoria and so on and so forth. How much gas do they have in Kribi? Nothing. And when they want to come and fill the gas that they take from us in Bamenda and then sell it to us, they are now selling gas to us for how much? 85,000 or 8,500? I don't know. We don't need their gas. I'm telling my people. We are used to cooking with fire for now because we are at war. You want to go and die because of La République gas? Who knows? After that gas, they can light up that place and kill as many of our people as they want. Please, let's be careful. This is war. Nobody's playing here. This is war, and we have been fighting this war for 8 years. Please don't be fooled by La République du Cameroon that they are going to make anything better for your life. No, forget it.
Thank you very much, Barrister Fro. That's a fantastic remark right there. But then let's move over to Barrister Imbesia. Barrister Imbesia, what do you say about La République du Cameroon's government accountability and transparency? As Barrister Fro has well stated, who is to be questioned and to whom? Barrister Mbesia.
Okay, okay. Barrister Ambazonia is not here. Did you hear me?
Okay. All right.
Get ready for an evolution in broadcasting. ABC Networks 24 proudly presents Mission 2025, a groundbreaking launch that will change the way you experience television.
Beginning this Saturday, April 19, 2025, ABC Networks 24 ushers in a new era with 24-hour live programming that will keep you informed and inspired around the clock. Witness the power of cutting-edge technology as ABC Amba TV elevates its broadcast standards to the pinnacle of modern-day viewing.
All your favorite shows are back and better than ever, including Undaunted ABC Amba News and military briefings. Plus, explore the rich tapestry of Ambazonia with our Amba history and engage in critical discussions in ethics for an emerging nation. Experience the redefined classics that you love alongside thrilling new shows set to captivate Ambazonians across the globe.
But that's not all. Mission 2025 introduces brand new programming like Global Business News Today, offering in-depth analysis of markets, industrialization, and global trade. Dive into the heartbeat of Ambazonia with county roots, exploring the sociology and governance from rural to urban landscapes.
Wake up to Ambazonia Arise, your premier morning show, delivering news, social media buzz, and newspaper insights to start your day informed and connected.
Join us for Mission 2025, where innovation meets tradition and the future of television in Ambazonia begins, only on ABC Networks 24.
Stay tuned this Saturday as we embark on this thrilling new journey. Don't miss out.
Here comes the dawn of Mission 2025, your window to the world. Starting this Saturday, be a part of it. Subscribe and donate now.
Elvis, Commander Elvis, good to have you on the show. Now we see that this is a basic need of the Ambazonian people, and the regulated inflation promised is yet to be seen. The people are yet to see the effect of this. Now, how do the people cope? What do you think? Commander Elvis.
Good evening and thank you, Tabitha. I kind of missed your question there. I don't know if you can hear me. Director Pratty, are we good to go?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, Tabitha, if you don't mind, could you retake your question one more time, please?
Repeat. Is asking you. Repeat the question.
The basic need of the Ambazonian people, and the regulated inflation promise is yet to take effect. How do you think the people would cope considering the decline and impact of the ongoing war and level of insecurities in Ambazonia?
Okay, thank you very much, Tabitha, for that great question. I would like to commend my able statesmen that are with me again tonight in the studio, Barrister Besser and Barrister Fu. I want to thank ABC for the wonderful job that they're doing. Dr. Patty, you and your crew have 100-gun salute from the Ambazonia State Army, and the ANSC. You guys are doing a great job. Tabitha, back to your question. We have gone through 7 years of economic decline. our people have found ways to be able to accommodate the struggle that they're going through, be it shortage of food, be it any other resources that they need for their daily lives. And that is the reason that we are taking this struggle very seriously because we cannot afford to fail. The structures that we have put in place, as clearly explained through the counter root structures, structures that are there to formidably change the entirety of our nation. We have institutions that are very powerful, and it's our collective responsibility to make sure that those institutions are strong, that we be able to prevail in our financial capabilities, in our education, as well as medical or whatsoever resources that we have to put in place for our people to be able to have a better life. That is the main reason why we are fighting, because we believe that our resources have been clearly mismanaged by the Paul Biya regime for all those years that they have held us hostage, and we are freeing ourselves from that bondage. We are very grateful for the Ambazonian people who have rallied and have supported this cause. We understand that not everybody does support this cause, but if they do understand the bigger picture, which is for the greater good of Ambazonia and the greater good of Africa as a whole, then they would all rally behind these structures and make sure that they succeed. Any call it pork that can be thrown at us by La Republique is something that we're used to. That's what Biya normally does in his regime whenever elections are coming up. They bring some Ponzi scheme and throw it at us, hoping that we would fight over the bone and forget the main reason why we started this fight in the first place. We have been fooled once, and we cannot be fooled again. So Ambazonia has risen and risen to fall no more. So going forward, all those activities where they claim to give us some subsidies only to enslave us the more would not work. And that is why we are so grateful for the education that ABC is dishing out to the public. We never had these opportunities prior, and you need to utilize these opportunities to the fullest. Making sure that our population is clearly informed, making sure that they understand the essence of the structures that we're building, making sure that we understand how we can collectively make a difference in our lives and in the future. So going forward, we want to commend each and every Ambazonian for their continuous dedication, for their hard work, and their service to our great nation. Nation building is a task that involves everybody, and we do appreciate every hand that is on the deck. So thank you again for your question, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Commander Elvis, for that warm commendation. The amazing perspectives you bring. I believe the Ambazonian people are also taking note of it. Well, let's move over to this report from the Ambazonian State Army. We say, contrary to opposing voices that said the Ambazonian State Army in Meme County was less active compared to other zones, they emerged on June 12th, powerfully challenging narrative. Now we see that the Ambazonian State Army made their presence felt at Ikiliwindi, halting circulation for hours and demonstrating their military capabilities. This bold move has sent a strong message challenging the military prowess of the La Republique du Cameroon Army. The Ambazonian State Army's ability to assert control and disrupt normal activities in the area is evidence that they are a force to be reckoned with. Also, the Ambazonian State Army's emergence in Meme County is a clear indication that they are in charge, and their influence extends beyond mere rhetoric. Their actions demonstrate a level of organization and coordination that underscores their determination to assert their presence in the zone. The Ambazonian State Army's bold move may signal a shift in the balance of power in the region, with the group asserting its dominance and challenging the authority of the La République du Cameroon's army. As the situation continues to unfold, we see that the people of Meme and Ambazonia at large are watching closely to see how the situation develops and what implications this may have for the region's future. Well, Commander Elvis, we've had reports on this poor narrative of the Ambazonian State Army in Meme, and not just in Meme, in Ambazonia. However, right here, their show of bravery to express their capabilities shows their readiness to change the narrative. Now, this emergence makes one thing clear, that their presence will not be easily dismissed. Let's hear from you, Commander Elvis. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, thank you once more, Tabitha, for that great question. Meme County, which falls under the Atlantic Zone, is one of those counties that uh, has gone through enormous challenges from the latter public terrorists and their infiltrators. We know the likes of Nazira Clovis that we have mentioned here before, members that have joined the so-called DDR Center. They have been very instrumental in killing a lot of our fighters in Meme in particular, and that is why the Ambazonia National Self-Defense Council had to re-strategize in Meme. We know back then when there was a late General Transporter who had great control over the area, but after his demise, we had some difficulties. Nonetheless, we had to re-strategize and bouncing back stronger than ever before. Meme, I can tell you, has a lot of potential. They have not even started, and it's just about to start. There are places that La Republique might think that they had at some point succeeded, but I can assure you that we have just slipping lines. And once their tail is touched, they would wake up and they would be able to strike the enemy with impunity. Meme County is a strong bastion for Ambazonia, one with great potential. We have a lot of manpower in that side. But again, when the stacks are against us, we have to change strategy. And changing that strategy sometimes means we have to lay low. Other areas in Ambazonia where Ambazonia State Army are active, they're able to relocate. They're fighting in all 13 counties. We just make sure that we can relocate them from one area to the other and bring them back when we deem it necessary. We pick our battles. We don't allow the enemy to dictate what battles we have to fight. If the enemy is overpowering us, we retreat and we choose our own battles. So it's a tactical move that has been made in so many other places in Ambazonia. So we just want to assure the Ambazonia people that sometimes if you see a locality uh, going down or no fighting at all, it is a tactical, sometimes those are tactical moves that have been made for just reasons. Because if we find that our manpower in that particular region is not as strong as we would like it to be, other than having our Amazonian State Army go out in battle in a disadvantageous position, we would rather retreat them and prepare them for battles that the enemy would least expect. Membec County is just one of those counties that, thanks to the bravery of our forces there, and thanks to the sacrifice of so many Amazonians that have been digging deep into their pockets, they have been able to sustain the forces there and keep them alive. Ambazonian State Army has a policy which says, you know, you can fight today, and the fighter who fights and run away leaves to fight another day. So you're not fighting to die; you're fighting to be able to enjoy that freedom for which you're fighting. And strategy is something that we take very seriously. We don't just go out in battle because the enemy is there. We think of what possibilities, how we fight to win, and not just fight to lose. So there are so many other battles that you'll be seeing coming up. Again, like you mentioned, Meme being one of such, as the momentum has started picking up. We understand that the enemy also moves in very tactical manner. If you can see places like Fako in particular, where the enemy has been decimated totally. Just a few days ago, there was an explosion in Fako County again that destroyed 2 La Republique terrorist armor cars. Those armor cars were towed up just 2 days ago. This has been a secret that they have tried to hide from the international community, and they have also tried to hide from the Ambazonian people or their their people in La Republique. We have to trumpet these so the international community understand that this war is active and ongoing. La Republique is bleeding, and they're bleeding really bad. And especially now that draft season is coming, the Ambazonian State Army would have the resources at hand to be able to prosecute this war. And we want to again sound the alarm to all La Republique's forces that are being sent to Ambazonia. They are better off handing their weapons to the nearest Ambazonian State Army and exiting through neighboring countries. The Ambazonia State Army many times have informed them that they are willing to give them a free exit if they hand their weapons over to them. So all La Republique forces in Fako, Meme, Dian, Kupe, Maniguber, Mezam, Lebialem, Bui, Donga, everywhere in Ambazonia, they have offered them that olive branch. They could see how other French countries are handing over, the country back to the people and shunning the Francophonie system. So they are better off not dying for an octagonal regime and their president and handing the power to the people. And these people here, we're talking about the Ambazonian people. So coming to Ambazonia, they know that they are actually dead bags already that will be going back to La Republique. So instead of dying for nothing, the Ambazonian people and the Ambazonian State Army, they have a valid cause. It's a cause that is worth dying for. And you can never be proud of dying to protect and defend the freedom of your people. That is a cause for which Ambazonia and his Ambazonian State Army are proud to execute. And we would execute that to the last man standing. So again, other counties are all coming up. And the Ambazonian State Army will be calling on all forces that as the draft season is coming up, they should gear up. They should be ready because the resources are almost available for them. They should practice, they should train, they should make sure that they map their routes, all logistic routes all across Ambazonia. That would be a no-go place for La Republique. And it is time, and that time is now. The momentum is on our side. We will not relent. We would go after every La Republique terrorist, be it in Meme, wherever they are. So word to a wise is sufficient. Thank you again, Tabita, and I could keep going, but I think we've won La Republique too many times, and now it's time for action, and the Ambazonian State Army will answer present whenever called for. May just give a short example of what other parts of Ambazonia are waiting for La Republique. So it's time for us to kickstart and get the work done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commander Elvis, for that powerful word of bravery right there. I believe the Ambazonian State Army are already gearing, right, just by those words you've just spoken. They are also building up the momentum, as you've stated right there. I believe Barrister Fro has a lot to say about this report. Barrister Fro, can we get your thoughts on this? How do you feel about this? The Ambazonian State Army in Meme County are changing the narrative powerfully. What's your thought on this, and how do you feel about it?
Tabitha, I'd like to thank Commander Elvis for a very, very good lecture on guerrilla warfare. La Republic of Cameroon knows that they cannot defeat us in guerrilla warfare. We have people like Commander Elvis who are specialists in the area. We have the Ambazonian State Army. They surprise you when you least expect them. That is how guerrilla warfare is. What were they thinking? That they will beat us in Meme and then we will just go away and they can now, Chamberlain, the so-called divisional officer in Meme, will have a field day? Look, when I saw those vehicles lined up and they could not enter Meme, I know that the gorillas have taken over the place. Look, Meme is not a place that you can just walk in and walk out. Everybody's watching you. Even if you kill our people, they are seeing what you are doing. But you think they will let you go? The gorillas in Meme are there. They are ready. They are tactically ready. They will answer anytime, anywhere. But like the commander just said, when it's time to retreat, they retreat to save lives. They retreat and allow all those hoodlums make noise all over the place. Oh, we have neutralized the Amber boys in Meme. Who are they fooling? La Republic should know that nobody, no country, no ordinary army can win guerrilla warfare. When we started this fight, we knew that we had a fight with a well-equipped, well-regimented, a regular army of La République du Cameroon, properly financed by France. We knew. And so from the beginning, guerrilla warfare was the option. And since 8 years, that is what we have been doing. And we are putting them in the body bags to return to their parents. Meme, keep the job going, my boys, because nobody will put your back to the ground. We are not ready to give up Kumba. That's why our economic, one of our economic capitals. We are not going to joke with Kumba. We are not going to joke with any part of Ambazonia. La Republic, if you want your children to stay alive, end this war. We're not begging you. We don't care. We're fighting. Like the commander says, the resources are available. We will continue to draft and draft and draft. We will draft until we die. Making sure that our soldiers have what it takes to conduct guerrilla warfare. We will not be caught with pants down. Our army will not be caught with pants down because we are not facing you face to face. You will hear from us. Like I saw those two policemen being removed from where they were attacked by our guerrillas. What do they think that we are? You think we will give up a country like Meme for them? No way. Thank you, Tabitha.
Yeah, Barrister Pro, that was a great analysis right there. I'll definitely be taking over from here. So much has happened today. We once again we would like to apologize for the technical breaks there that we had that will make us to start a little bit late. So much has happened across the week. As we conclude this segment of the program, I've lost my voice there. I want us to talk about something, Commander Elvis. It has to do with, we had a report during the week. And according to this report, one of our reporters on the field was reliably informing us that you have Cameroon Army now is afraid to dress in their military or military regalia. So they want to hide among civilians because they are afraid of the Ambazonia fighters. And this happened in Bamenda. The report was reported, I think, on Thursday. It happened in Bamenda. Maybe you want to throw in a little bit of light on that, and we'll be back to conclude this segment of the program. Commander
Yeah,
Harris, please.
thank you very much, Director Patty, for that great question. Yes, it is nothing new. That is a strategy that the enemy has used many times to try to infiltrate our population. If you remember, at the very beginning of this struggle, La Republique, in order to penetrate our Ambazonia State Army, had to use proxy forces. Proxy forces were basically the ADF that looked like the Ambazonian forces, dressed like them, sounded like them, but they were all La Republique elements. So that is nothing new. This is just maybe another means, because the ADF has been completely decimated now in Mezam, that they are looking for other alternatives now to get closer to our Ambazonian State Army. So we know this strategy already. As the Ambazonian State Army, it is our collective responsibility to make sure that we continue to build our intelligence infrastructure. The word to our people has always been: you see something, you say something; you hear something, you say something. Our civilian population is our number one line of defense. They are our ears and eyes. So we know that before something is done, the civilians would always see and report to the Ambazonian State Army for swift action. We are calling on the population wherever they are, be it Mezam, Fako, Ndian, Kupe, Maniguba, Bui, Boyo, wherever they are. They are a part of this struggle. It is their responsibility to report any suspicious activities to their nearby Amazonian State Army for swift action. The army are their kids, they are their sons and daughters, and they are there to defend them, to defend their land, defend their property, and also defend our culture. We cannot take it for granted. We understand that the enemy would always act like it's one of us, to be able to get deep into our secrets. When we isolate them, we would quickly win them. Their tactic of using, uh, you know, military might, going in armor cars from one state to the other, have been completely brought to a halt by the tactical nature of the Ambazonian State Army. Now using the improvised explosive devices, the homemade improvised explosive devices, which have been very lethal to the enemy. These are devices, these are instruments that are very produced at every level locally. They're cheap, they're very damaging to the enemy. They're very afraid to drive their ammo cars around. They thought at one point that they had found a solution, but they quickly discovered that our ingenuity as a nation was very powerful, and we continue to bring new solutions whenever we face challenges. They were happy that they had got some information or some materials from some countries that were able to help them detect those IEDs. But unfortunately, more of their vehicles kept being destroyed, and they have no solution up till date. So on that note, they are now transforming their tactic, trying to penetrate us. In most localities, we always advise our civilian population to speak their native language, speak their vernacular. Speaking that language helps you to detect who infiltrators are. It helps you to catch any foreign elements that are around your area, and it would also keep you alert. There are most of them that come into our territory, even though they could dress like us, it will be very difficult for them to speak like us. So speaking your native language, especially in your area, is very instrumental for you to be able to catch the enemy who tries to infiltrate your territory. And again, all Ambazonian State Army have been ordered to make sure that before you sneak out early in the morning, check your surroundings, especially now that it's rainy season. The enemy tries to use the advantage of the vegetation to hide and ambush them. So they should be very careful. At night when you try to go to your hideouts, make sure that you scan the area very well. Check your 5, 10, 15, 20s. Make sure that your perimeters are cleared before you venture out. Also make sure that your spy network is good at all times. The rains would always help the enemy to evade, maybe at night, so the noise would help them to penetrate deep into the territory. But we also have those strategic locations in our areas where we can easily see the enemy before they come in. They do not know our terrain more than we do. We know it more than them. So it is to our advantage to make sure that we are always at the maximum state of alert. During the dry season, of course, it is always more advantageous to us because the enemy would not be able to use those tactics again against our state army. But notwithstanding, we are adapting ourselves to all terrains and to all weather temperatures. And our state army have continued their training so far. They're perfecting their ability to be able to strike the enemy with impunity. And we are hoping that the whole Ambazonia will be hot very soon. Just like I mentioned, Dr. Patty, the draft season is starting. We're calling on all Ambazonians to come on board. We're calling on all Ambazonians to make sure that we make lightweight out of the heavyweight that we have. And that means all of us donating our little might to be able to assist our people back home to be able to face these challenges. So again, we are more than happy and we are determined because the Ambazonian people as a whole want a whole. And that whole means us doing things that would help to our collective success. So thank you again for that great question, Dr. Patty, and over to the studio.
Barrister Fu, maybe you want to react.
Yes, Paddy, like I said before, we have a professional, Commandant Elvis is a professional in the area. He has just given you a complete lecture of how the Ambazonia State Army functions, the tactical know-how, the guerrilla know-how, the popcorn know-how. La Republic has tried to invent all kinds of methods to find out how to detect our popcorn, but they have failed. They are still losing in both men and material. Every time they move into a territory in those they are protected so-called armored cars, they always get surprises. And each one of those things cost a lot of money, more than 100 million each. And they keep losing them. I don't know why La Republic is still in this war. What are they still doing in this war? Is it really a country that is managed? These are people who are on their knees financially, and yet they keep sending their young ones to come and die on our territory. God forbid the death of those young people from La Republic of Cameroon will only be on Paul Biya's head, nobody else. It will only be on Atanganji's head, or Ngongo, or the rest of them, who are secretly sending those young people. Children as young as 16 are fighting their war, and they are all dying. But they know even the great America could not defeat the Viet Congs in Vietnam. How do they think they will defeat us? Let them keep going. Let them keep coming. Our popcorn is ready. Our popcorn is always there. Commander Elvis, thank you very much for that technical analysis. It's very edifying. Thank you.
So the popcorn is already there. Now we are concluding this program so that we can zoom and have a brief conversation. You just mentioned county drafts there. And as the counties are drafting, they will require ABC to help them with this draft. So we hope to send letters to all the counties and soliciting county support for ABC, which is why we had today. And the support is not just going to be financial. We want the counties to allocate representatives from the counties that will be able to work with our newsroom or the television to get information that will help for county roads. That's very important. As we start touring the counties, we think that this is important. That's why today I'm surprised that the counties are not represented yet in the Zoom meeting. Are they willing to have ABC do the mobilization that ABC has been doing for them? So why do we send invitation and they don't respect it? It's a symbiotic process, and I think that the counties would need to step up. So I like us to talk a little bit on that. You've watched about an hour, close to 90 minutes of what we've been able to do. To do all of that takes us a lot of time. For those, not just time, it requires so much for ABC to be able to do that. And we've attained a height in our production that we can't take it down. We feel that we need to do this collectively. So we're calling on everybody. That's how significant it is. While you guys are fighting on the ground, we're fighting on the media. The attack we're having on the media is enormous. The times we're having interruptions. We're just having technical issues that cannot be explained normally. So we believe that if the counties are really appreciative of what we do for the home front, first of all, by sensitizing them and educating them of the war and giving them this kind of information, and also helping the counties. We help every county enormously during their draft. We think that they should make more effort than what they are doing currently. Commander Evis, you just mentioned the county draft. Oh, as you get to talk more on that, I would like to hear you talk on this issue that I've just raised. And then we will get Barrister Fruit to conclude so that we can move into the Zoom and round off the day.
Thank you again, Director Patty, for the opportunity to actually, voice my support for the great job that ABC Amba TV is doing. From the conception all the way to present, ABC has been outstanding. You have delivered with efficiency. You have made Ambazonia proud because you have never reneged, not once. You have had enormous challenges that others might not understand, but each time ABC has stood tall and have made Amazonian proud. A lot of our stories could not be told by others. We would have been hearing these stories from the Republic media with their own narratives. But thanks to you and your team, Ambazonian people are having clear, undiluted information directly from those that are concerned. The Ambazonian State Army, for example, like the action that just happened in Ekiluwindi on Thursday at exactly 1 a.m. when two La Republique terrorist armor cars were vaporized. That is another action that nobody would have heard of. But because we are able to come on air and let the Ambazonian people know that that is what the Ambazonian State Army did, La Republique cannot hide that. There people would ask, and hopefully they would get questions. So those are the kind of things that ABC makes possible. ABC makes possible the opportunity for us to be able to visit our refugees, to be able to hear from them, visit those localities that have been decimated, and also, reach out to our vulnerable population. The situation that is also happening in neighboring La Republique to our citizens from Ambazonia that are being butchered day in and day out, their houses being burnt, their property. These are stories that nobody could tell. And we are out here soliciting that support for ABC. I would be going through the county, especially Bowie County, making sure that each and every member also contributes massively to support this initiative. That I can assure you that Bowie County would never be behind on that. We would make sure that our voices are heard, and not just heard, but that our pockets are actually felt in ABC. Wish that every county could take that initiative. It is not much that is required of us, but that little sacrifice would keep us going. Like you mentioned, Dr. Patty, this fight is not only by the Ambazonian State Army. We have a media war that is being fought, the ideological war that is being fought, and we need to win at all fronts. We understand that we will not win all those battles, but this one is an important battle that we cannot let go. If the enemy is able to conquer us in the media space, we would have a very hard battle because they could literally convince others to drop their weapons. But we need to continuously educate them that we are strong, that we are waxing, that the failure of action does not mean we have surrendered. It only means sometimes that we have re-strategized and we are coming back stronger than we were. ABC has been great in all ramifications. Its presenters are wonderful. We don't even understand where ABC gets the resources to be able to keep up with the kind of manpower that they have, producing great results or doing all the wonderful research to be able to come and present great stories to the Amazonian people that affect their lives, that affect their culture, and for which they are a part and they need to know. These are very critical things that need to be done, and those resources are desperately needed to keep this team active and alive. So I would join my voice to that of Dr. Patty to call on all Ambazonians or friends and well wishers to come to the aid of ABC as we go doing our county drafts. ABC is the voice of the Ambazonian people. It's your voice, it's my voice, it's the voice of the those that have gone before us. It's the voice of those that have no say, and we thank them for their great service. We will do everything in our power, Director, to make sure that the support that ABC needs is readily available for them so they continue with this wonderful job. Thank you again for your sacrifice and your service. Over to you.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Vice Ambazonia, please.
But you mean
Vice,
Barrister Fro?
oh, sorry. I'm trying to connect him, but he's not there. So yeah.
Paddy, listen to me. The counties will react. They have no choice. This time, this hour, this year, any county that does not react to keep ABC alive, you know what? We will conclude that that county is not existing. All the counties will answer you, Paddy. Make sure the letter that you have written goes to all the counties. They are going to contribute to keep ABC alive. They will, because this is a very important instrument of war. Communication network is so important to any war. You cannot fight a war without a communication network of a television or a radio station. The radio station itself is not as effective as television. You see, when I was growing up as a child, I listened to the Nigerian Biafran War. There was a journalist called Sekokondem, and he changed the course of the Biafran War with his mouth. Even though Biafra later on lost the war, at least it kept Biafra on his toes by what he said, by bringing the stories of the war on Radio Biafra, Ekokondem. Today, ABC, look, I don't know what we would have done if after the debacle of SGBC, we didn't have ABC. Where should we be today? I don't think this revolution would have survived without ABC. Every Ambazonian has a moral duty to ensure that ABC is alive. So everybody is morally bound to contribute to the survival of ABC. And I'm calling on all the counties. I know some counties are they are looking as if they are dying away, given the effect of the remnants, coup plotters. But down there, every Ambazonian has a moral duty to contribute in their county or in their AGA, or even those of us in the cabinet. We must contribute to make sure that ABC is alive and well. This television has served us a lot. This television is more than 33% of the whole struggle. If this television did not exist, I don't know where we would have been today. We thank God for the debacle of SGBC and the renaissance of ABC. ABC has gone through hell and it has gone through fire with Chris Anu trying to hijack the whole network, but he could not. He failed woefully. ABC is here to stay. ABC has developed. It has gone now to ABC 24 network, which means ABC is on 24 hours a day. I don't know how we get the finances, but God willing, everybody will contribute, buddy. So don't bother yourself. Let's go to the Zoom and you look at them in the face. They will put that money in your hands. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for this. I want to believe that you did enjoy the first segment of this program where we introduced the revamped, redefined county routes. For those who didn't watch, you can go and rewatch. We'll be streaming it at the home front. I'm calling all those who are watching us on Facebook or on YouTube. Just join the Zoom links have been sent out. Let's have a brief conversation. I don't think it's going to exceed an hour. We just basically want to lay out the plan and probably give you the payment platform so you can make your donations today, or you plan to do it within the week. Some of you would have received some letters. Initially we sent out the public letter yesterday, and we hope to send more. It's important that we all wake up and aggressively do this now. We have to do this now. I don't want to give more information than what I'm giving now. You see, I will hardly do this. Usually I don't like doing this. Like telling you or insisting on your donations like this, but I would have to insist this time around. You have to do it. There's lots of things that I don't want to say we don't understand, but I'm trying to avoid to lay blame on people. But you see, there's a strategic plan. A strategic plan just to either frustrate your efforts, which is what we're thinking. The government will have to be proactive about it. And the only way is not, because we do not have control of what others choose to do. We have control of what we're doing. And we have some people that are still willing to do some of the things we're doing. So we have a duty not to get them discouraged. At least we have control of this platform. Let's take advantage of it. Any other platform, we don't have control of what they're doing. That those who are sabotaging us, that they don't know what we're doing with resources. Never in this struggle, if anybody has any evidence, they should bring it. From SCBC to the Chris Ano ABC to the Pastor D ABC, there has never existed in this struggle where the budget of ABC is this low, or a television in the struggle has a budget as low as the budget ABC has now. and no TV in the struggle has done up to 20% of what ABC has done for the past 3 years. If you know it, bring it. Currently, right now, I'm just saying this is not bragging, so that you know, until you lose what you have, you might not know the importance of it. There is no television existing in the two Cameroons that gives qualitative and quantitative news about Ambazonia the way ABC is currently doing. If you know, you bring their what they are doing in terms of the reports they do every day and the staff what they are doing, and bring what ABC is doing. No media platform in the Cameroons. If you know it, bring it. And if there is one that compares ABC even by 70%, I'm going to resign the next day. I know all the media houses, none is doing it. Why am I saying so? I'm saying so that you can be proud that at least there is one platform that is genuinely making Ambazonia proud. And this is ABC. You have to support it today, not tomorrow. Now, like now. It is urgent. You have to take it very seriously. My country people doesn't watch any other channel. Again, it watches just ABC. Trying to crop videos from here. They are very much aware that all the other platforms have no use. What you saw some people create is a charade. If anybody don't understand media, I'm saying so. I'm saying that not because you can use a software that makes you understand production. Anybody can do a Facebook and YouTube live. We're talking about standards of production. So it's a charade. It's nothing for anybody to worry about. That's not a TV. That's just some people excited to come together and they're talking every day. I hear that some of them are saying that President Sako is raising money and not using it. That's not a TV. They know I tell them. They know that I will tell them. It's not a television. They are not yet started. If they want to do a TV, let them start. This is a TV. And we have a duty to keep it going. Thank you very much for those who tune in. The Zoom link is open. We have a few minutes to have a conversation. It's an important, there will be much more conversation we're going to have there. I'm calling on some of you to pray for some people you know are taking the responsibility to truly stand as patriots in Ambazonia. You want to pray for the leaders, the genuine leaders you know within the government now. Leaders from cabinet that you know, pray for them. For those who are Christians, who believe in God, pray for them. Pray for the leadership of ABC. In fact, ABC is the best institution that this government has in terms of structure and consistency. You need to do that. It's very important. See you within the week. And I'm calling the counties again to work with ABC very closely. You heard Star Smart saying that the objective of the county roots is not just to create another show. It's so that you were able to get a legacy for generations to come. That they destroyed our history, destroyed our cultures. We have an opportunity today to rewrite the story. We have an opportunity today to do it. And we cannot lose that chance. It's important that we do it. See you in the Zoom.
Get ready for an evolution in broadcasting. ABC Networks 24 proudly presents Mission 2025, a groundbreaking launch that will change the way you experience television.
Beginning this Saturday, April 19, 2025, ABC Networks 24 ushers in a new era with 24-hour live programming that will keep you informed and inspired around the clock. Witness the power of cutting-edge technology as ABC Amba TV elevates its broadcast standards. to the pinnacle of modern day viewing.
All your favorite shows are back and better than ever, including Undaunted ABC Amba News and military briefings. Plus, explore the rich tapestry of Ambazonia with our Amba history and engage in critical discussions in ethics for an emerging nation. Experience the redefined classics that you love alongside thrilling new shows set to captivate Ambazonians across the globe.
But that's not all. Mission 2025 introduces brand new programming like Global Business News Today, offering in-depth analysis of markets, industrialization, and global trade. Dive into the heartbeat of Ambazonia with county roots, exploring the sociology and governance from rural to urban landscapes.
Wake up to Ambazonia Arise, your premium morning show, delivering news, social media buzz, and newspaper insights to start your day informed and connected.
Join us for Mission 2025, where innovation meets tradition and the future of television in Ambazonia begins, only on ABC Networks 24.
Stay tuned this Saturday as we embark on this thrilling new journey. Don't miss out.
Here comes the dawn of Mission 2025, your window to the world. Starting this Saturday, be a part of it. Subscribe and donate now.